Aquarius, what's going on? This is Ashley. We are gonna do your reading for the middle of November. We're gonna look at a challenge, a strength, a potential outcome. Just try and bring in some guidance for you at this time. Now, of course, as you may already realize, this will not resonate with every Aquarius out there. If it doesn't, I recommend you go check your other placements. The schedule for those is down below. Or you can hit that notification bell and get notified whenever the readings come out for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, which are the placements I recommend you keep an eye on. So, let's see what's going on. I will link your eclipse season bonus at the end of this video if you haven't already checked that out. That might be something that you find helpful because this week we have the first eclipse in the sign of Taurus. So, could be some serious endings coming in and some serious new beginnings potential. You know, eclipse season changes kind of the path ahead. So, let's see what's going on for Aquarius the week of the 15th. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Nine of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. The Star, there you are. The Eight of Wands, and the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups. So, could certainly have some sort of wish come true showing up here. We're going to see how that comes into play because I actually feel like this might be a little bit of a difficult week for you, but I mean, all the signs have a strength and then a challenge and the potential outcome. So we're going to look into it, see what's going on. In the strength position, we have sacred breath and sound. So I do feel like communication is going to be on your side this week. It's going to be something that will serve you. It says life force and communication. So speaking your truth is going to be important for you this week. Even if there's a fear of it being rejected, even if it's something that may feel like you're risking being disincluded, kind of ejected from a situation here with this Five of Pentacles. It's very interesting. If you look closely on this Five of Pentacles, at the center, there's a star, and I'm very strongly noticing that in this particular reading, and the star is you. So I do feel like the important thing for you to understand this week is that even though you may be at risk of your opinion, your truth not being accepted and kind of putting you in the cold, for example, it's still something that's going to be very important and healing for you to communicate. So, let's see why and what that truth might be. We do have that Ace of Pentacles there, so it could be a kind of a new thing for you to use that throat chakra, speak up. Could result in a new solid beginning as well. With the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Page of Wands and the Four of Cups. With the Five of Pentacles, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Chariot. And with the Star, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Fool. So it's kind of interesting because, I mean, we have so many pentacles showing up here. I get this feeling that there is a deep root chakra related fear, or it could very well be that the Aquarians that I'm reading for, who this will resonate with, are very concerned about their physical well-being in the world, that it's important to you to have a bank account with the savings associated with it that has, you know, a nest egg in there. It could be that a lot of your choices that you make in life are based on if it's a good idea financially, right? And like there's some kind of relation to your day-to-day survival associated with a lot of the things that you do. So that might, you know, be something to look at. Not that having a savings account is not important, and that it's not a good long-term plan to make good financial decisions. But I do feel like part of it could also be to an extreme that holds you back, right? So take that if it resonates. I do feel like someone here is trying to offer you a new beginning here, but I feel like you're kind of in this hemming and hawing decision here, because I think ultimately you just want to move on. And I feel like maybe there's a fear here that if you communicated your truth about this, that, you know, it could be detrimental to you. There could be a rejection here. So for example, if someone's trying to get you to do something at the workplace, something different, they want you to do something and you're like, I don't think so. I don't want to do that. It may be that you're afraid to speak up and say that because what if you get fired? You know, that's just an example. It could be that someone's trying to have a new beginning with you in a relationship situation and you don't want it, you're not interested in it, it's not something that you think will be emotionally satisfying to you, or you're just bored with it, and instead you just want to move forward, take control, focus on yourself, focus on your bank account, focus on your abundance. But there's a fear here that you might make this other person feel rejected, or they might reject you because of this decision. And again, I do feel like that's you, with that star being very obvious to me in this particular reading. It doesn't normally stand out to me so strongly. I feel like you're ready to close something out and have a new beginning here, and just kind of move forward. And I think that it's going to be important that you speak up. With that Page of Wands showing up there, sometimes that can be communication that is a little bit feisty. There could be some angry passion showing up when you communicate this, but it still feels to me like it's being encouraged that you say it anyway. Obviously, it's about speaking your truth, not about injuring someone else, so keep that in mind. I certainly don't encourage people to just go out and fly off the handle at someone, but you need to stand up for yourself, is what I'm saying. In the challenge position, we have the Servant in the reverse. And the reverse is the shadow attribute, and it says using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So again, this financial stability thing being an issue. And it doesn't have to just be money. It could just be, you know, your earthly stability. You know, like if that's put at risk, it's like you just don't do it kind of energy. But I'm also feeling like with the servant here, even in the light attribute, it says delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. I feel like part of what holds you back is that perhaps you have a tendency to put others' needs first all the time. And that leads to some pain for you, an imbalance in a dynamic. With the Five of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands showing up here, I do feel like you're wanting to move forward from something that has been imbalanced. There's a lot of pain associated with this, sadness, regret of how things went down. But there's something about it, like, you know, it's kind of interesting because there's this fear of rejection. You want to be accepted for who you are, right? Like everyone, of course. But also, I kind of get this feeling with the servant showing up as your challenge, it could very well be that there's an imbalance in something. It's not equal give and take, but it could be because you just overgive all the time, right? And when we're in a state of overgiving, energetically, we're not even allowing space for it to be reciprocated, right? It would be like, I'm going to buy dinner. And then the next time being like, no, I'm buying dinner. And then every time you buy dinner, because you have to do it, it's like this urge. And then a month later, you're like, well, this person never bought me dinner. Well, they couldn't possibly, because you were demanding that you do it all the time. And so, like, I do feel like there's some regret showing up here. It could very well be that your challenge is recognizing that, yeah, you want to move on from imbalance. You want to move on from perhaps some pain of the past. You want things to be more equal, right? But also recognizing that, you know, in order to receive from others, you have to you have to allow that to happen. We can't cram gifts down someone's throat, right? So you have to open up to that possibility. So let's see what else we get here. With the Five of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So I do feel like there's some pain associated with the real truth here. It's like you don't want to have to communicate something. I don't think you want to hurt someone's feelings. I don't think you want to disappoint someone here. Yeah. With the Six of Pentacles, we have the Four of Pentacles. There's that energy of, that guarded, hanging on to something, kind of like, let me rephrase that. It's that guardedness against receiving that I was talking about. Like, things are not going to be balanced with anyone, no matter who it is, if you don't open up to being receptive sometimes. Like, you don't always have to be the person that buys dinner. And it looks like with the Wheel of Fortune here, there might be a shift showing up here that kind of challenges you to see that. And I say challenges you because it's in the challenge position. I think ultimately it's a positive thing that's showing up for you. The Eight of Wands, we have the Magician and the Six of Wands. So I think what you're going to find is that when you really open up and communicate here, right, you can actually have a victory. You can actually have some movement here, some positive progress, right? It's just that fear of speaking up, for fear of rejection, for fear of instability, for it impacting your day-to-day life. We can kind of go into that survival mode that I was talking about, where we feel like something could impact our ability to, you know, get through the day every day. But ultimately, that's typically an old wound from childhood, that root chakra I was talking about. So I hope that makes sense. In the outcome, we have karmic relationships, polarity, soul growth, conflict. So I do feel like you're dealing with someone here that was here to teach you something. And no doubt you were here to teach this person something. And, you know, it's kind of interesting because it talks about conflict, right? And we can think of karmic relationships as, you know, being full of conflict. You know, when we think of karmic relationships, we often think of someone who's going to teach us some lessons. And it can kind of have this like negative connotation to it. I don't actually believe that. I believe that we will definitely learn lessons. I don't think that there's a single relationship we're going to encounter that's not going to teach us something, right? We're going to have soul growth no matter what the relationship dynamic is. And to me, a karmic relationship is simply somebody that you have had interactions with in the past. And I'm talking like past lives. There's still karma there to be played out. There's still an energy exchange that needs to take place that will ultimately lead you to soul growth. Now you can see like there's a person standing here, and then there's one way over here. And they both look like they're standing on Earth, but they're on two different planets. So it's kind of like this feeling of you may actually be in a more similar place than you give each other credit for. It could be that you're both standing there feeling the same way about something, but something prevents that understanding from taking place. We have the Nine of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Strength card. I'm going to get some clarifiers here before I speak to this. I definitely feel like you've been dealing with a relationship that has challenged you. That Nine of Pentacles. It may have been something very difficult for you. Definitely pushed you to some limits. Could have been a long-term relationship with that King of Pentacles. But I want to get some more here. This is the potential outcome. So, with the Nine of Wands, we get the Lovers and the Two of Cups. With the King of Pentacles, we get the King of Cups and the Three of Cups. With the Strength card, we get the Queen of Cups. Oh my. And the Four of Wands. So, it's kind of interesting because I feel like in this outcome, you're coming together with this person. This is a strong soulmate, a karmic partner here that you're dealing with. There's deep love here. There is the potential for stability, for it improving. It's like you hung in there this long. It almost feels like that last little boost that gets you back together. It's like reconciliation, union energy showing up here. Which I wasn't expecting, honestly, in this row. So, surprise! I do feel like, you know, there's some fear associated with this. There's some worries from a root chakra level. I do feel like communication is what's going to make this victory, this movement possible that we talked about here. and kind of getting out of this over-serving energy. So, very interesting. I wasn't really expecting that. Aquarius. So we have Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Leo, Gemini. But yeah, this is I think that it's something worth persevering through. I do feel like it has led you to some back-breaking work here. But I think ultimately, I mean, we're at the Nine of Wands, right? We have the Nine of Cups here. So I do feel like it's like this wheel of fortune, this turn of events, this improvement. Ultimately, it's shifting into a more positive direction here. And I think that that happens because there's some more understanding about balance. There's some more communication that comes in here. And that's what allows it to move forward in a more positive direction here. I think there's a lot of love here. So, you know, keep that in mind. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it helps to guide you if this is your situation. And I will see you next time. Bye.